So while I didn't get to go to Sundance this year, I'm actually surprised that one of the movies that debuted there was released on Netflix at the snap of a finger, so hey, why not? A Futile and Stupid Gesture is a movie about the creation of the National Lampoon magazine, the events that led up to the making of Animal House and Caddyshack, and is pretty much the life story of Doug Kenney, the guy who co-created the magazine. Like I said before, this movie debuted at Sundance, and it was released on Netflix at the snap of a finger, like that quickly. So I just figured, hey, it's a movie that debuted at Sundance, this would be a perfect opportunity to review something since I didn't actually get to go myself. And when I heard what the movie was about, I was actually pretty intrigued because I'd always known about National Lampoon, I knew it was a magazine, but to be honest, the only true exposure I have to National Lampoon are the movies. National Lampoon's Van Wilder, National Lampoon's Vacation, and my favorite of the bunch, and the first, National Lampoon's Animal House. So with those few movies, I had a brief knowledge about the National Lampoon brand, but never really knew much about the magazine. And with this movie here, I thought it was interesting how they showed the creation of the magazine and just all the stuff that led into it, and who exactly Doug Kenney was. And this movie is played by Will Forte, but Will Forte is obviously a lot older than Doug Kenney was by the time the magazine was created. They even make a joke about it because throughout the whole movie, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, I didn't see any trailers for it, but the movie opens up with an older Doug Kenney pretty much being the film's narrator. And the movie has a more comedic note than I originally thought it was going to, because going in, I thought it was going to be a documentary, not a biography with fictional actors playing these real people. And at most, it's chuckle-worthy. I can't think of any moments that really made me laugh hard. And that's kind of disappointing because for a movie about a brand that kind of changed comedy for that time, and just pushed comedy to its limits, it's not as funny as you would think. I think one of the points that really had me laughing is when they show the filming of Caddyshack, and there's a moment when they have the actor who plays Bill Murray sing a song, and the actor who plays Bill Murray is spot on in terms of the voice. It's like you close your eyes and it's like, wow, that's really Bill Murray. Then you open it up and you're, oh well. It does have a star-studded cast with some good performances here and there. Doug Kenney, as I mentioned, is played by Will Forte. His partner, Henry Beard, is played by Domhnall Gleeson. I still don't know how to pronounce his first name, but when I was watching the movie, I was like, wait a minute, that guy looks very familiar. That's Domhnall Gleeson. That's General Hux right there. And he's pretty good for being pretty unrecognizable. And you have a lot of other faces here. The most notable for me is Joel McHale, who's playing Chevy Chase, who is just playing Joel McHale. I didn't think it was really a spot-on Chevy Chase impression, and I thought the only reason that they hired Joel McHale was because he and Chevy Chase worked together on Community. Then probably the worst casting decision in this movie was the actor who played John Belushi, because he looks nothing like John Belushi. He's fatter than John Belushi was during the production of Animal House. There's even a point when they're on the set of Animal House. The actor who's playing John Belushi has his back turned from the camera, and he's dressed as Caesar, the way John Belushi was in Animal House, and you're like, wow, that's actually John Belushi. And then he turns around and you're like, oh, never mind, that's not him at all. I don't know who that imposter is. I don't really have much else to say. At most, this movie is chuckle-worthy. I did learn some things here and there about the magazine and just all the stuff that they went through, but I felt like it was a little too long, longer than it needed to be. And while I do appreciate the way that they told the story, if you know the history of National Lampoon and Doug Kenney, by the time you finish this movie, you'll be wondering why they even bothered to tell the story the way they told it. So, not terrible. I'd say watch at your own risk. Again, it's on Netflix, so you don't have to really go out of your way to see it in the theaters. It's right there at the tip of your fingers on your computer, on your PS4, phone, whatever you watch Netflix on. So if you want to see it, check it out, but it's not really all that funny. And while I did learn a few things here and there, it's really not one of the best biographical films out there. And that's my review for A Futile and Stupid Gesture. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on the movie, if and when you've seen it. And as always, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.